Undefeated Kings played dominant football on Friday night against Trotwood Madison, building a 20-0 halftime lead in an Ohio High School Athletic Association regional final for Division II held Friday night at Welcome Stadium. But they'll be turning in their uniforms sometime this weekend because the Rams of Trotwood Madison High School scored 35 unanswered points in the second half of this game to secure a spot in the Final Four. It was an incredible evening. MVPhd was more than happy to be there. Hello, my name's Alex Sater, and I'm your host, and I wouldn't have been at the game if I didn't bum a ride with Tim Longevin.
This game was the most shocking turn of events. Trotwood's high-powered offense was stuck in neutral, and Kings took advantage, racing to a 20-0 halftime lead. The Knights had 8 first downs, 162 yards of total offense, 2 interceptions, a fumble recovery, 3 sacks, and a block punt. Trotwood was totally deflated. Their 6 offensive possessions in the half netted them 3 first downs and just 48 yards of offense, not to mention the miscues and the penalties. But then the Rams staged one of the biggest comebacks in regional final history. They scored 35 unanswered points in the second half, and they escaped Welcome Stadium with a 35-20 victory. Senior Ram quarterback Michael Simpson, who has been brilliant all year long, looked lost without his go-to receiver, Trey Mobley, who was out with a foot injury. That first half, he was 1 for 10 for 11 yards with the 2 picks and the 3 sacks. But in the second half, he found his groove, and he completed 8 of 10 passes for 58 yards and a touchdown. So now it's going to be Trotwood versus Marion Franklin, who beat Dresden Tri-Valley 48-42 in overtime this evening in the state semifinals next Friday.
It felt worse than 20-0 at halftime, primarily because of the way the last touchdown was scored.
Yeah, unbelievable. Kings was going to just settle for about a 13-yard field goal at that point. Trotwood offside, so the ball got moved to the 1-yard line, and they decided to go for it. And Jamie Westbrook punched it in from 1 yard out as time expired. Unbelievable. And that play was set up by the block punt.
And anyone who left at this point really blew it. Just as we predicted in this week's podcast, the kicking game for Kings was excellent.
Yeah, definitely, especially for Kings. Evan Bird, who's had a brilliant senior year, was 2 of 2 in field goals. He kicked a 22-yard field goal in the second quarter and a 31-yard field goal in the second quarter. And then, of course, on the game, he was 2 for 2 on extra points. That kid has finished the season 48 out of 49 extra points and 16 out of 23 field goals. Yeah, everything was working. Everything was clicking for Kings. Offense, defense, and special teams.
What happened in the second half?
Trotwood scored just 7 points in the third quarter, but they capitalized on a fumble, and then they went on a 9-play, 57-yard drive, and Israel Green capped it with a 1-yard run. Eric Cosby kicked the extra point, and they were down 27 with 6:14 left in the third quarter. But then the fourth quarter is when Kings had the meltdown, and Trotwood really exploded. They scored 28 points in the fourth quarter. Bam Bradley caught a 5-yard touchdown from Michael Simpson. That capped a 14-play, 80-yard drive, so they cut it to 2014. 11:56 left in the game. Then, boom, Israel Green broke loose on a 33-yard touchdown run that put Trotwood ahead for the first time, 21-20, with 9:09 left in the fourth quarter. That was a 3-play, 44-yard drive. Then Trotwood scored again. Ashton Jackson scored on a 4-yard run, and Trotwood was up 28-20 with 7:08 left in the fourth quarter. That was another quick 3-play, 54-yard drive. That was set up, though, by Jackson's 39-yard run. And then they put the icing on the cake. Michael McCray had a 39-yard interception return for a touchdown with 2:37 left in the game. And that was your final, 35-20 Trotwood.
What did the coaches have to say about all this?
Oh, starting with Coach Douglas, he was just so thankful and so grateful for this win, and he really believed in his players, and he liked the way they fought back and didn't give up. And then, of course, Andy Olds, you can see his disappointment, but he was so proud of the way they started out this game, and he really couldn't explain what happened in that second half. He kind of wishes they never would have gone into the locker room. So it was pretty sad. A lot of tears on the King side and a lot of jubilation on the Trotwood side.
We've already talked about Michael Simpson's stats. What about some of the other individuals?
Sure, I'll start with Trotwood. Israel Green is the one that really got that second half started. He came out and he really ran with authority. The first play from scrimmage, after Kings fumbled to start the third quarter, he rambled for 28 yards, and right then and there, it just kind of set the tone. And he ended up with 129 yards on 19 carries, a nice 6.8-yard average, and of course the 2 touchdowns he had. That gives him 1,627 yards and 20 touchdowns on the season. Then another kid, kind of caught fire too, was Ashton Jackson. He had 8 carries for 71 yards, an 8.9 average and a touchdown. And then, of course, Simpson was finally able to hook up with his wide receivers. Maurice Douglas was saying in the first half they weren't getting any separation between themselves and the defenders. They worked a little harder in the second half to get open, and Simpson found them. Kellen Byrne had 3 catches for 34 yards. Michael McCray had 2 catches for 18 yards. Bam Bradley even had a couple catches for 13 yards and a touchdown. And, on the defensive side, well, what a night for Michael McCray. The junior linebacker is being sought after by just about everybody now. He had 14 tackles tonight. He had the 1 pick six, and he also had 1 forced fumble. So he had a great game on the defensive side. As far as Kings go, Jensen Gebhardt bowed out his brilliant career. He went 7 of 19 for 93 yards, had the 1 interception. Running back Ryan Hoffman was 0 for 1 and threw an interception. But he's mainly their running back. He had 80 yards on 11 carries, a 7.3 average, and a touchdown. And then, of course, Jameer Westbrook. He's had a brilliant 4-year career with over 7,000 all-purpose yards